certainly, and of course this man is up and about. Well, yeah, he's not quite up and about. I'm not sure why, so please try and get him up. Welcome the 300-game superstar, John Sammy Newman.
Fossil.
How are you there, old fossil man?
Well, mixed feelings tonight, Gary. Here with a bit of a heavy heart.
Yeah, what was
you know, we got a serious matter to address. A man that we struck a medal after. Apparently he's bitten the dust.
Yes, sadly.
The
Gary
little fella.
Coleman, only a couple of days ago, passed away, sadly, and we have got the Gary Coleman medal, so I've had a bit of a discussion what we're going to do with that.
Incidentally, I mean, the Herald Sun and the Sunday Herald Sun rang the office when news was imminent or that he had passed on. Wanted to know what we were going to do.
Yeah.
I don't think the Age know he's dead yet.
Yes, they do.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
Anyhow, I jumped straight... Gary, because I take this seriously, I became proactive and got onto the front foot, and I said... I rang the EP, you know, the EP is up there.
The goat, yep.
Yeah, the goat, yeah, no, his name's Tim. Or was that Brent?
I know.
Doesn't matter. I rang both of them, as a matter of fact. We were on a speakerphone. And I said, well, why don't we get someone with the same profile that could captivate our audience that we could substitute for Gary? And I said, why don't we get the easy rider himself, Dennis Hopper? And
No.
Tim said he's dead as well. Well, I said, is there anyone living over in Hollywood that we could use? And then I said, now this was my best idea, why don't we use Gary's other character? We might as well, we could slip him in. Webster.
Oh. No.
Didn't he play Webster?
Different characters.
No, that's not right.
That is right. Webster is a different character than the one Gary
Well, now, you
Coleman.
know Benson, that was in Soap, and then
Yes.
he had a show called Benson.
Yeah.
He was the same person.
Well, that's all right.
So
Gary
Webster
Coleman
is
and
not
Webster...
Gary Coleman.
No, not at all.
No.
Different.
Okay.
These...
Well, what are we going to do about it?
Well, we'll let you know, because it was very sad. And,
You sure that's right?
Yes, it is right.
People stopped us at the footy on the weekend about this, and we'll let you know what we're going to do about the medal very, very shortly.
A lot of respect we'll have, Gary, including for these next three people. The panel tonight are enormous. From the Maggies, the biggest off-season recruit of them all. A big footy show welcome for Darren Jolly, who's here. And for the very first time, the three-time Premiership winning superstar, Simon Black from the Brisbane Lions. Good on you, Blackie. And the Mayor of Geelong, please, Bill Brownless.
This is... Yeah, this is a massive panel. Some big men and some superstars of the game. Let's welcome this fella first of all, though. Simon Black, debut on the Footy Show. Welcome, mate. Great to have you along.
Gary, we don't want to embarrass Simon, but this is a three-time Premiership winning player, a Brownlow medalist and a Norm Smith medalist, Gary.
That's what we said. Most decorated player.
Gary,
in the game.
that's some silverware, Bill.
Best and fairest, all-Australian, international co-captain.
Bloody hell!
Everything, he's done everything. Is there one prize you haven't won? Is there something you haven't won or you want to do?
Oh, look, Billy, I've been very lucky to play a pretty good side, mate, over a long time. I suppose if you're playing a good side, you're lucky enough to have...
Is there one thing, Blackie? There must be something. You've got to get married, I suppose. That's
Coleman medal would be nice, wouldn't it?
Oh, the Coleman medal. The Gary Coleman medal?
Yeah, which... The Gary...
No.
He wouldn't lose his
No, he
cool
doesn't.
or
He's
shout
icy,
at anyone. The Iceman.
The Iceman. Going all right, though, Black. He jumped out of the blocks, won 4 in a row, then dropped a few, but last week, that was a massive win and a timely win against the Pies.
Yeah, it was, Gaz. A big confidence boost, and as you said, 5 weeks on the trot, we hadn't had a win, so it was a big win last weekend for the club, and hopefully it can kick-start us for the next few weeks.
You've been at that club through that golden period, and now you're sitting back one of the older players now. Are you really confident that you got the makings of a side that can take them a long way?
Yeah, I suppose you never really know, obviously, how good we're going to be, but I think with the influx of those 6 mature age recruits we got over the summer, it's added a fair bit and added a bit of maturity to the group. along with our younger guys the last sort of 2 or 3 years that have started to come on a fair bit. So we're getting there. You know, still a lot of ground to make on the top 2 or 3, but we're making some inroads.
Very tough week, of course, this week, Blakey. Now, Bill, we noticed something in the vision from recent times.
We did. Our good old mate Brendan Fevola, how's he going with his second and third efforts? Have a look at this here. Look at his chase. Look at his chase. Go fair, Benny Johnson. Just running down the wing. How is he? How's Fev going? Because we love Fev.
He's going all right, but if you kept rolling that tape, the ball would be down about 30 seconds later and he got on the end of it. So I think he's a bit smarter than we know.
Goes right back the other way.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's been great. He's been great for the club. The boys love having him around the place. He's, you know, a hive of fun. You know, big kid. You know, can't sit still, as you boys know. And
What's been his long suit, Sim?
his long suit.
Yeah, what you love him?
Quality. Oh, just his
Qualities?
Yeah, that's the same thing, Bill. Yeah.
No, Blakey didn't get what long
I
suit
was speaking to Sim. I wasn't speaking to you. What is his intrinsic value down there? You say you love him. What do you love about him most?
Yeah, he's got us. Thanks, Bill. Yeah. Look, Sammy, he just gives a real you know, energy around the place, and he's lively, always positive. Yeah, he can, as you said, a bit lethargic at times, but he gives a lot of spunk, a bit of life around the club, and he's one of those guys when, you know, 5 weeks on the trot you have a loss, he can give a bit of energy in the group, and that's been terrific.
First time tonight, was last week we had a first timer as well, and they showed some horrible vision. Billy, we just wanted to cast your mind back, Simon, to Billy Brownless on his first night, just to have a look how times can change.
Billy Brownless.
Have a look at the haircut on
It was a Geelong trendy thing back then. Did you see the two blokes I'm with? Ned Kelly, he's got no hair, I've got no hair, and Jimmy Hurd's the other bloke there, and he's got more hair than ever. Have you seen his hair lately?
No, yeah.
Bogan.
What about how different you are weight-wise, Bill?
Yeah.
You're double the size.
Oh, well, I might have put on a little bit. I'm winning the battle with anorexia. Don't worry about that.
Great to have you, mate. We've got plenty to get through. As we said, Brownie's going to join us from the Hall of Fame a little later in the program. Darren Jolly, ladies and gentlemen. Great, 7-3. You're in pretty good shape. Just another game. I think this one against the Western Bulldogs, we'll have a look at it very shortly. Probably the biggest game of the year, I reckon.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one for us, guys, to obviously bounce back. We've had 2 disappointing games, and obviously we can't afford to lose another one. So the boys we had a really good training session today, and we're pumped, and we can't wait for Sunday to come around.
And the President, Darren? Are we happy with the President? Everything going all right there?
Absolutely, yeah. He's fantastic.
And we saw it last week, and we've just got to show you again.
Oh, no, don't do it.
Here it is, here, Eddie King of the footy. You watch the roll there? Look at the... Now, Gary...
Bill, you said... Don't point at us. Bill said, don't worry, it'll be at the Hall of Fame. You won't see it. So we'll run it again.
Look at that. His sunnies and his wallet and his keys and everything are gone. Put the biggest hole in the ground you've ever seen.
Well, Daz, steer clear of that if you've got half a brain, which you have. But I want to ask you about this, because we like to just keep our eye, Gary, on a bit of the ink that's going on with a few of the boys. And this is Dane Swan from your club, Daz. Now, what's going on? We've seen the sleeve, of course, but this is a bit of under-jumper work.
Yeah, he's obviously good friends with the tattooist, and you know, he's got a bit of ink on him, and that's not the... He's got more than that down his leg, and...
Where else?
He loves it. No, I think that's the only... I haven't seen any other rude parts.
Got any on his arse, Razzle? Hey?
I don't think so, Jimmy.
What do you mean?
No, I wouldn't look anyway, mate.
Well, you wouldn't look at his arse. Oh, well, when you're all in the showers together, it doesn't matter what you
I
look.
don't notice any tattoos on his arse.
Maybe jock wearers in the showers down there, Foss. That's the latest
So
trend.
wear their jocks in
That's
the
the
showers.
latest trend going around footy. We spoke about a couple of weeks
They
ago.
wear their jocks.
In the showers.
Why did I do that, Gary?
I don't know why they do that. It's a strange change that's come over the game. I'm not sure why. Bill, get us out of this. Have a look at the first game tomorrow night, please.
Yes, Lane Wolf, here we go. It's Richmond versus St Kilda. Friday night footy. And the Tigers who had their first win for 301 days. A fantastic win, a couple of ins. Troy Simmons, his farewell game. Good luck to Troy Simmons. Finishes on 197 games for Melbourne, Freo and Richmond. And Will Thursfield in. Kelmore out. Graham Polak has been dropped. Great win last week. They take on the Saints, who are 7-3. And the Saints one change. Geary in. Out goes Zach Dawson. He sprained his ankle. Going OK, the Saints. They win this one. That's 8-3. They're just going under the radar a little bit, the Saints. Cozzy plays his 150th game. It'd be great to see Cozzy kick some goals. What about Lee Montagna's game last week, Blackie? Unbelievable. 38 touches and 5 goals, just like you. They're the odds there. They give the Saints a bit of a chance there. I think the Saints will win, Blackie.
Yeah. I think the Saints as well, Bill.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, he's great
Why?
last week. I just think they've got a bit more class all over the field. And as you said, Montagna last week, it's an exceptional game.
That was like you.
No, I've never kicked 5 goals of footy.
Who's winning there, Dazzler?
Yeah, no, I took the Saints. All the best for Troy Simmons. This innings, finishing up games, so I wish him all the best.
Yep, well done.
Yeah, so, and who did you tip?
The Saints.
Yeah. But no, well, good on Richmond last week, who I thought they wouldn't win a game for maybe a decade or more. But they've good on them.
You have treated the Richmond boys with contempt. Here's some,
No, not contempt. I've been pretty...
comments you've made over the past 5 weeks or so. Fossil guts?
I'm worried about Richmond. The only excitement or joy Richmond will have is when Matthew Richardson does a lap of honour. Their season's over. There's no doubt about that. It hasn't started and it's over. I have no interest in this game whatsoever. No, you'd have to pick Hawthorn.
Yeah,
I don't think Richmond will win a game.
They will win a game this year.
Ever! Well, so I've been writing every week except last week, Gary. No, good on them.
It was great.
Yes, it would be good if your mob could emulate him.
4 wins.
Every now and again, Jim.
Exactly, mate. Well said. With 4 wins we've had, Fossil, and another one against Blackie's mob Saturday night, just to make it fast.
Yeah.
Now, who's going to win this game?
Well, I would hope Richmond can get up, but I don't think they will. I think the Saints.
It was fantastic. The singing of the song, I'm not sure. Did
anyone know the words?
Yes, they did. They sang it like the song hasn't been sung for a long, long time. They won't win.
Well, it hasn't. 301 days it was.
Well, it's a long time, Will.
Yeah, nearly a year.
I think the Saints might win, but very nice to see Richmond get off.
Yeah, it was.
Mark.
Hey, Gary.
Yes,
we
Jimmy.
mentioned right off the top that the street talk tonight is different. It is incorrect. And I recommend that people be very careful, Gary, before they watch it.
We're putting it on at the AO time, which is well after.
Is this an official warning we're giving people?
Well, it's post 10:30.
You know what we do when we give people an official warning? We give the warning sign out.
What is
you
it?
know what the warning sign is? We give the warning sign out, Gary, so we'll do that a couple of times during the night just to alert
Once
people.
is enough to warn
Gary.
people.
What?
Once is enough to warn people.
No.
I didn't even know that was coming.
I didn't know it was coming.
That's funny.
Yeah,
all right, Jonathan Brown to join us next, but as we go to the break, just... Welcome back to the Footy Show, courtesy, of course, as always, of Crazy Johns and Nissan Navara. Now, just a reminder that we will be going to Stoza and Jelena Jankovic, Gary, at the semi-finals of the French Open. Our girl en route to the final and then a victory. But tonight is absolutely, no doubt about it, one of the marquee, or shall we say, blue riband events.
Riband, well done, Jimmy.
AFL calendar is, of course, the Hall of Fame dinner. It is held at the magnificent Crown Complex. Our man, Jonathan Brown, was going to be here on the show tonight, but the AFL requested that he actually be involved in the induction of the legend tonight. There's going to be 6 inductees and 1 legend, the Hall of Fame, and Brownie's been good enough to jump in front of a camera at the Crown Complex and join us now. Jono, welcome, mate. Go, boys. Hey, great privilege, Brownie, to be asked to do this. Legends don't come along every day. I think this is the 23rd in the history of the Hall of Fame, and you've been asked to do the honours.
Yeah, I'm introducing the legend, and along with a couple of other guys, and certainly be a great honour. I know the guy quite well, and can't reveal who it is. We'll reveal it later on in the show, Jimmy.
Brownie, you going off the cuff, or you got something prepared?
No, I'm just going to go off the cuff. I've sort of thought of a couple of things on the way down on the plane, Gaz, and I'll see how it rolls out in front of about 1,500 people.
A little bit of humour mixed in there, mate. You got a couple of zingers to go with early?
I've got a couple of one-liners there, mate, so I'm just hoping I can deliver it promptly.
One of the tough men of footy, as we see Kevin Bartlett there come in with the lovely Denise. This is all the Hall of Fame at Crown there, Peter Moore. Some of the greats of all time there. That's Sauce, geez, and of course Mrs. Savani.
Joe.
Thank you, Gary, yeah, looking well.
Peter McKenna.
Thank you, Gary, yes. Ross Glendenning.
Superstar.
Ask your question and we'll watch.
Brownie, one of the tough men of football, Blackie, he'd have to be, wouldn't he? One of the toughest of all time.
Yeah, I'd say the big fella certainly would be.
Yes, and this is how tough he is. Have a look what happened last week when he was playing Collingwood here.
Oh, no.
Harry O'Brien, have a look out, look at it.
Oh, no.
I'm losing this battle, so what am I going to do? Pull his hair. Oh. Kept pulling the hair. Come on, Brownie.
I wasn't sure you could actually stick an elbow in a bloke's face, so I thought I'd just try and even up and get close to the fence so that bloke behind him could give me a hand. But I haven't been reported for about 5 or 6 years, boys. I thought I'd just dip my toe in the water before I do something stupid.
Johnny, it's Blackie, mate. Here, mate. How you going?
G'day, mate. Just warming me seat there, mate.
Yeah, I am. Thanks very much.
Actually, be careful of him, boys. The last time he turned up to the grand final footy show uninvited, he stayed for 3 weeks.
Johnny, mate, I brought some photos down on the plane of your lovely Mrs. Kylie, as you call her.
Oh, right.
Mate, she's recently had a baby.
Where'd you
She's,
get those photos from, mate?
Quite handy, mate, isn't she?
Where'd you take the photos, mate? Well, obviously, Kyle's been working pretty hard after the bub, and presume they're the photos of the fashion parade, mate. So, I suppose she's done all right for herself.
Brownie, we're going to have a look at the game very shortly, but the embargo's finished. We're not going to steal your thunder. We'll leave the legend out because you are yet to induct him, but we can tell you who the 6 players who are to be inducted tonight into the Hall of Fame. Of course, Wayne Carey, that's been well publicised. Tony Shaw gets inducted, the captain of the Collingwood Footy Club. Brian Dixon, a 5-time Premiership player from the Melbourne Football Club. Not too familiar with Stan Hill, but a legend from West Perth over in Western Australia. Ross Smith, a 2-time St Kilda Best and Fairest and St Kilda captain as well. And a name very familiar with all the football followers of today, Gavin Wanganeen, also inducted into the Hall of Fame. So that is a massive night, and the legend still to be inducted, and that will be done by Brownie. Stick with us, Brownie. We're going to go through your game today on the weekend. It is North Melbourne up against the Brisbane Lions. Kangaroos, 13th on the ladder, 4 wins, 6 losses, got spanked by Freo, 61 points, conceded 17 goals from turnovers. Petrie, Harding, O'Keefe, Petrie having no luck, all out. Daniel Wells back lower, and Garlett come into the side. 14th in the league, Jimmy boy, for contested footy and hardball gets. They need to get that right. They play the Brisbane Lions. 9th on the ladder, 5 wins, 5 losses. A very, very timely victory over Collingwood last week. They kicked 7 goals to 3 after half-time. Luke Power in his 250th game was superb. And the changes there, James Polkinghorne out with a thigh injury, and Jared Brennan welcome back into the side. It was an important victory, Brownie, as I go to you before I get the tips from the boys. And the centre bet odds there would suggest that you're warm favourites at the moment, but nice to find some goals for yourself after a few injury niggles.
Injury niggles, yeah. I can't hear you, mate. We've got the fire in the background, but yeah, we have had a few injury concerns, but starting to get on top of that, including myself and Fevy. I'm not sure whether Jared Brennan's been named, but he trained pretty strongly. Daniel Merritt trained very strongly, so hopefully he'll be back in the following week. But we're pretty confident after a big win last week, guys. There's curry on the main meal there, boys.
That is the big fire tower, so don't go looking to belt someone back there, Brownie. Luke Power, Simon, who was superb, he you've had Michael Voss and then yourself and Jonathan, of course, that get much of the attention, rightfully so, but he has been an unbelievably consistent footy player.
Yeah, he has, Gaz. He probably flies under the radar a fair bit with us up there, but he's, as you say, been extraordinarily consistent and one of the great clubmen of the AFL, really. He's a fantastic guy, and all the boys love playing with him, and I think he's playing some really good footy. Probably got another 2 or 3 years left in him.
Who's winning, William?
I see it's North's 4th home game at Etihad against an interstates club, Jim, which doesn't help your crowd figures.
No, it doesn't.
Right.
But it's still important that people get along. And we normally find, Blackie, that the Brisbane Lions are very well supported in Melbourne. The Fitzroy faithful pile in, so it'll be a good crowd there.
I think North might win this.
Dazzling?
Sorry, Jim, but I'm going to go for Brisbane. Obviously, seeing firsthand last week what they did to us, they outscored us after half-time, so they're really going well. Obviously, Bev and Brownie, are firing up forward.
Now, Sim, Bill, I agree with you. I reckon the Kangaroos might beat the Brisbane. Brownie's obviously a bit clumsy. He's obviously stabbed himself in the lip with the fork before the entree there. I don't know what's happened to his face there. But he's
Cold sore.
Punctured a hole. What is it?
Cold sore.
Cold sore.
Is it? What is it, Brownie?
It's my little bub actually scratched me the other day, mate. She's only 7 months old. She's got a good grip strength.
Did you pull her hair?
I was actually trying to get back. She's been pulling my
What about you? Anyhow, I reckon they might win the Kangaroos.
Important for Brad Scott, I reckon, against Michael Voss. They played 250 games each together, so rivalry there, Blackie.
Yeah, it is, Jimmy. Yeah, they've got a lot of respect with each other, no doubt, those two. And I would imagine Scotty would be pretty keen to get one up on him.
I would imagine, and vice versa. Gary?
4-1 record, the Lions against your boys there. You had Jim. I'm going for Brownie and Blackie just to get over the top.
All right. Brownie, we're going to let you go back and enjoy the function, but you're not far away from bringing an inductee back to speak to us, so we're looking forward to that. Thanks for that. Speak to you later.
All right, boys.
All right. As we let Brownie go and enjoy the night, we are going to swing to one of our favourite segments. Put your hands together for Sam's mailbag.
And you can remember what it was like when you're inducted into the Hall of Fame, Gary. It's a nervous night, isn't it?
Well, it would be, absolutely. One of the greatest honours ever, yeah, it would be.
And you felt humble when you're up there?
No, I'm not in that category at all, but big night for those.
Yeah, but you're a Hall of Famer.
No, I am not. You are, Foss. You're a Hall of Famer.
No, he's a Hall of Famer.
You're a Hall of Famer.
No, he should be a Hall of Famer.
Come on.
That staggered me.
Sam's mailbag.
That's two things that Webster and you have staggered me.
Yes.
Oh, well, anyhow. Can I ask you a question? This is from Louis of Ivanhoe. Dear Sam, can I just ask you a question?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yes.
I think I'm cross-eyed.
Well, you're a bit...
When you were playing football, did they have memorabilia or fan cards?
One of the great
or
thrills.
things that you put on your duffel coat, the badges and things?
As a player, if you got on the footy card or a badge, that was a magnificent
Just the
highlight.
players?
Of course, only the players.
Yeah.
Who else?
Listening to... What?
Who else?
Keep going, Sam.
Where's this going?
Who else would you have?
What are you doing here?
I'm reading out a letter, Jim.
Players only into that area of
You
Fossilton.
are
What, not
both
even-
idiots.
Players only.
Listening to this is from Louis of Ivanhoe.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Louis.
What's Louis got to say?
Well, there it is, Jim.
Yeah, it's a good letter.
Yeah, Louis.
Listening to the various football shows and commentators over the years, I have often heard them use terms like flog.
Flog, yes. I'm just reiterating, Foss.
Did you hear that, Tim?
Reiterating it.
An echo in here.
Come on.
Head wobbler.
Yes.
Listen to this.
King of the wobble.
Yep.
Wobbler of the year.
Yes.
And just plain wanker.
Wanker, yep.
I used to wonder what they meant in the context of AFL until today when I ventured down to the North Melbourne footy shop.
No, don't tell
And
me.
now I know.
Don't tell me.
Now I know. The...
I have never seen that.
Did you hear what he said?
I've never seen it.
So where were you when they took the photo?
Oh, it was just an old one. I've never seen it before.
That's one.
I don't think even the bloke from Hawthorn's got his on a badge there. No.
Eddie hasn't got his own badge.
Eddie hasn't got
The
one.
one president who demands that he puts his face on the badges.
That
and
is
it's our man
extraordinary. Look,
Jim.
we'll just hand them out because they're obviously...
Never have I seen behaviour like this before.
That's...
Give me one, please.
Oh, all right, all right.
Yeah, slap it off.
And of course, the old limited edition one here. This is the one that you... You really want to put your head up your ass.
No.
That's the one that Jim has actually purloined for himself. Now, that's extraordinary, Jim. Is it they've been going out like hotcakes?
Well, as you saw from that shot, they're flying off the shelf.
From Bruno.
Extraordinary.
From Bruno of Meadow Heights. Sam, do you believe in romance? Well, I'd have to see a photo first. You wouldn't have any drinks or dinner, just get straight to the bottom line, Gary. I think you can do that these days. I think all that other stuff's, do you want to do it or not, I think is how it goes these days. In our day, we had to wine and dine and cajole and just chat and sweet talk and tell lies. Now you just say, come on.
I wouldn't know.
I ask, because a mate from North Sydney sent me these photos of a series of signs someone stuck up along Lane Cove Road last week. I reckon they sum up your typical Australian romance. Now, here's the first sign. Well, that's nice. That's obviously he's got Jennifer's attention. Then the next sign, this was in a series of posts along this highway. You can see they're gradually going along. Yeah. Will you marry me? And you think, well, now that is lovely. So then the blokes...
Oh, no.
And then, of course, we got the pièce. They were all taken in sequence along Lane Cove Road.
Yeah, I like
Gary,
it.
you like that?
I liked it, Foss.
Nice one.
This is from David from Canterbury.
Well, I like this one.
You've been going through the mail, Jim, have you?
I like this one.
Several years ago, whilst studying at university, I worked as a pizza delivery boy.
Yes.
One night I was called to deliver a family pizza worth $19.50 to His Royal Majesty Gary Lyon.
There we are.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Well, hang on,
Yes,
Gary.
it is.
Hang on.
Absolutely true.
At his multi-million-dollar palazzo.
Yep.
That'd be true.
That's very true.
Gary paid with a $20 note, and then, to my astonishment,
Oh, no.
Yes, please. What happened then, Fox?
he asked for the 50 cents back.
Yes.
Not true.
Yes, Gary. Yes, please.
What? Hang on.
Yes.
Oh, we'll give him a warning again. What a cheapskate. I wouldn't have thought a man of Gary's calibre would stoop that low. Sam, on my behalf, could you please ask His Royalness, firstly, for an apology, and secondly, if he is a man, is he finally prepared to cough up on camera the 50 cents? What do you think? Come on.
People who know me would know that is not the case, Foss. But if it is, then
Why would the bloke... Is it a bloke? Why would the bloke bother writing in that, if that's
don't
not
know.
true?
I'm
I mean,
not
how
impersonators. There are
thrifty...
impersonators out
How
there.
thrifty can you get, Gary?
Well, you got to, yeah.
Pizza
No,
delivery.
that
Might
is-
have been cold, Jim, by the time it got
Gary,
there.
a pizza
But you wouldn't
delivery.
know
I
that.
think it's disgraceful
They survive
behaviour.
on
I think
tips.
it's disgraceful behaviour.
That's
Just a bit of shrapnel.
Might have been when I wasn't earning all that much money in the day.
What? So what? The 50 cents
What do you do?
made the difference.
Is there a date on there, Foss?
Hey,
Is there a date on there?
is there a date on there?
Yeah.
2
on the
years
letter.
ago. 2
No,
years
it
ago.
was 2 years ago. That's what I've just heard, Gary.
I don't
2
believe
years ago, guys.
I don't believe
Well,
it.
that is a disgrace,
It
Gary.
is.
I mean, just give someone to the nearest dollar. give someone to the nearest dollar, just, you know.
What are you waiting? Is there something going to fall
Well,
in
I tell you, interesting that you should be the one criticising him for this behaviour, Fossil.
No, but David's
I don't think that's true.
You may remember on Street Talk this man.
Remember when I used to do your garden? Remember when I used to mow your lawn? Yeah, I used to mow Sam's lawn, and when I first went there, I asked him, could I cut it for $5? And Sam said, oh, it's a little bit too much. I'll give you $4.50.
Right, if you want to contribute to Sam's mailbag...
I'll tell you what, if you want to interrupt my law...
Here it is, PO Box 800, Richard Victoria, 302, and Sam's mailbag, 9.com.au, 9msm.com.au/footy show. At 50 cents, Foss, that's a lot of money. $4.50 back in your day. We're going to a break. We've got Street Talk, Richmond version. Get your kids to bed. Still probably 45
warning,
minutes.
well, just
no
warning.
warnings.
We're having a warning.
No warning.
We're
And
just
we're going to
a
cross back
quick
to Jonathan
warning.
Brown. No warning.
We're going to a break. Back with lots more on the video.
Comes the kid. Here comes Fevola.
The AFL and the NRL code wars are set to escalate drastically tonight with news that Israel Folau is seriously considering a multi-million-dollar play from the AFL to switch codes and join the GWS side in the Greater West of Sydney. I reckon we'll have a decision in the next 2 weeks, and I think the AFL is still very much the favourites to win this. They are riding this up to their necks at the moment, but he is leaning towards playing AFL footy at the moment.
Rugby league star Israel Folau has signed with Greater Western Sydney for 4 years.
Yeah, I'm just really excited to be here today and announce that I'll be coming into the Greater Western Sydney side next year.
Welcome, Israel. It's a very courageous decision, and it'd be great to be coaching you.
And Israel has scored again.
Sometimes annoying, sometimes funny. He's a mixed bag.
A man who has blonde hair and a black goatee.
Still bleaching his hair blonde.
The weirdest facial hair.
He's got to get rid of that beard. It's no good.
A ringer.
Two-tone.
He's white as me.
Left-footed, right-footed. Pretty good on both feet.
Very flashy and outgoing.
Freak.
Probably the best, most skilled player I've played with or seen.
Bringing sexy back.
No, he's pretty different, but he's good for the game.
Good at handstands. Talented. Weird unit at times.
Different.
Outspoken. Probably not on Michael Braun's Christmas card wish list.
There's only one, so he's unique.
Interesting.
Eccentric.
Oh, dangerous. A very confident old man.
Not pretty. He's an ugly man.
Sitting here, talking to you. Is that it? Is that all you need?
Been plenty said and written about Acker, of course, over the last 10 days, but his side, the Western Bulldogs, Bill, have an enormous match coming up on the weekend.
A big game this way. Collingwood take on the Western Bulldogs. Collingwood third on the ladder, 7 wins, 3 losses. They lost to Brisbane last week. They've now lost 2 in a row. Extended bench. In comes Medhurst. Josh Fraser. Good to see big Josh back. Leon Davis is back. Lee Brown and Tarkin Lockyer out. Shane O'Brien and Jack Anthony dropped again. And they take on the Doggies, who are 6-4. And in comes Eagleton, Everett, Moles, Reid and Wood. Out goes Acker with that hamstring. And Ryan Hargrave, who has hurt his ankle. Ben Hudson, very good last week, so that'll be a good clash with you, Darren. Too many clangers by foot. I think Collingwood can win this game.
Lucky.
Simmons. Yeah, Jimmy, I'd say the Pies have bounced back as well.
Josh Fraser's back, Dazzler. Now, what's the workload going to be if he plays between the two of you?
Who?
Josh Fraser.
Josh, I didn't hear who you said,
Josh
Gary.
Fraser.
I was interested in the answer.
Josh Fraser.
Yeah, I imagine we'll share the ruck duties, and he'll obviously float around the ground. He might even play a lot of time up forward, so it's good to give him back.
Cameron Wood's dropped, is he?
Yeah, unfortunately.
He's on the bench here, mate. Hasn't been announced yet.
There's an extended bench. Boys, we just...
Good on you, Bill.
Oh, that's a low blow, Bill.
No,
Low blow, Bill.
It's not a low blow, Bill. See, you idiot.
We're playing, this is the Cup, we're playing for the Robert Rose Cup this weekend. And unfortunately, Robert, he played for Collingwood and Western Bulldogs and had a really bad car accident and became a quadriplegic. So this year, the Cup will be presented by Lucas Dumbrell, who's obviously a special guest at Collingwood. So we're playing for all those people with obviously spinal injuries. And
yeah, it's a massive game.
Fantastic.
Well done. It's a great cup and very important one for both clubs. Fossil, this is, I reckon, one of the bigger games of the year. Because
Do you, Gary?
The Magpies and the Western Bulldogs both been touted as Premiership favourites.
Yes.
They've lost 2 in a row, the Pies. The Bulldogs were pathetic last week. So the losing side on the back of this weekend's under the pump.
Jason Eckermanis must be flattered that, according to the Western Bulldogs, the fortunes of that club depend on what articles he writes in the paper. Didn't the media make a mountain out of all that?
Yes.
Well, they did. I mean, hell.
Hard to work out what was going
Why
on.
didn't they blame why didn't the Western Bulldogs blame the bloke who drove the golf cart
I
in
don't
the back
think
of Braddy Johnson's leg out
I
of
don't
training?
think they blame Jason for their poor form.
Well, they've said it's disrupted the players.
No, I don't think they did.
Yeah, they did.
Right?
They did. They said the players are shitty with him, the club's shitty with him.
Angry.
And the result of this game's going to be, Sam?
That we're all shitty with him, Jim.
Oh, I see.
No, well, I think that Collingwood will win.
Gary?
I think that. I do. What do you think, Gary? More importantly,
Tough one to pick. I'm going
no,
for
it's
the
easy.
Dogs.
You just got to make. Now, speaking of dogs, Gary, very good, well done. Speaking of dogs, we're not doing dogs.
Got to get to Yelena versus Samantha Stoser, so...
Yeah. Get on with it.
Well, if you're going to do it...
Well, hurry up.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have to do it.
No, go on.
Speaking of dogs,
Give us a quickie.
we're not doing dogs that look like Gary. We're doing bread that looks like Bill. This is from Liz. Liz of Mentone.
I like that.
Oh, look at that, Bill.
That is a piece of bread. And you'd think that they've carved the ears out, but that's how it came out of the packet where it should. And Gary, this
like
is biscuits that look like Gary.
Yep.
There's a biscuit that looks like you, Gary.
Oh, come on.
This is from Robert of Croydon. And then someone did that. Robert of Croydon's son drew that, Gary.
Did you just say it looks nothing like
Nothing
me?
like me, Bill.
It's a biscuit, Gary.
It's a biscuit.
It wasn't going to look anything like it. It's a biscuit.
Still nothing like me.
We've got to get, because Sam is playing Yankovic. What is her name?
Samantha Stoser versus Yelena Yankovic.
Yankovic. And so we're going to almost have the kids put away now. So give them one more warning before the kids go to bed. Just one more warning.
West Coast versus Geelong, Saturday night. 14th. Don't do that. Carlton. West Coast by 29 points. Shut up.
Got the shit.
Quentin Lee. Listen, Nikovsky and McGinnity are out. Mick Brown, Brad Dazzy, Lewis Stevenson in. Little sweaty on Geelongville. Beat Melbourne very easily. Tom Hawkins is out with soreness, Billy, and Darren Jolly. First versus... Who's winning, mate? Don't take no notice of these two
Blackie,
flops.
have a look at the little sweaty bits that come up on his head.
It's hot.
I can tell when
I've actually about had enough of that.
when you're ticked off, Gary.
You've had enough,
you
Gary?
get that quiver under here.
Right.
You do.
Just about had enough of the warning. Who's winning?
No, I think Geelong is going to be too good for West Coast. They're in red hot form, so yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Blackie?
Yeah,
amazing Geelong machine just keeps rolling on, so I have to say the Cats.
Yeah, don't worry about you, Will.
Well done to Harry Taylor, who his partner Michelle had a baby boy during the week named James. But I just want to show you something. They're playing the West Coast Eagles. Josh Kennedy, have a look at his run-up. This is unbelievable. He's goal kicking and it works. He's kicked 29 goals, 5. Have a look at this one here. This is his routine. Wait for it. It is fantastic. Kicked 29 goes 5. And you know what it reminds me of, Gazza?
What does it remind you of?
Reminds me of this.
That looks like you, Gary. Fred.
Fred Flintstone, that was, Gaz.
And you're worried about Israel Folau being able to kick?
Folau.
What's his name?
Folau.
Oh, well, Folau.
That looks...
Where has he come from?
Looks like Richard Hadley at the top of his marks.
Tongan.
He's a Tongan.
Tongan.
Don't forget...
Did you tip someone in this game, Sam?
I didn't know we'd done a game, have we?
Yes, we have. West Coast as well.
We won't be putting the warning sign up, but the West Coast warning for the West Coast.
Geelong will beat West Coast.
We won't put the warning.
Samantha Stoss is playing Elena Yankovic after the show, so we've got to get moving, Jim Boy.
Hey, we do, and I'll tell you what's coming up very, very shortly is Legends, but there's plenty more on the Footy Show. Stay with us.
Forest Hill versus the Eastern Lions. Have a look at this hanger here by Hayden Saluka. Have a look at this. Actually, but can you believe it? The umpire did not pay it. No mark. The umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. Poor old Hayden couldn't believe it. 30 seconds later, he takes another hanger. And you know what happened? The umpire didn't pay it. Oh, come on up.
Come on.
Oh, that is unbelievable.
Stiff unbelievable, Billy.
Hang on, Blackie. Wait. Righto, now, son.
Right, here we go, boys. This is Sandy Bay versus Cygnet. Sandy Bay player runs in an open goal. Put down your glasses, folks.
Goal.
Hang on. He's missed.
He hasn't missed.
He's missed from 1 metre, Bill.
Let's have a look at this.
How
can you miss that sign? And here's one, South Bowen versus St Mary's at the St Mary's Oval. Have a look at this hanger from Mark Corrigan. Who did that remind you of, Simon?
One, David Neitz.
It looks like David Neitz in the 9. Have a look at this hanger. Corrigan. Good grab, that. Which one did you like, Blackie?
I can't go past that last one.
All right, we'll ask the audience. Did you like the first one, the 2 grabs? What about the missing goal from a metre out? Jeez, Black, you've got to judge this. South Bowen and St Mary's a hanger. Do we like it? That is the winner. Noel Fanning from Geelong. You have won this.
Thanks to Crazy Johns, your mobile experts. A weekly winner takes home a brand new phone from Crazy's huge range, while our 2 runners-up get $500 cash courtesy of our good friends at Crazy Johns. And the major prize winner at the end of the year takes home the Nissan Navara ST 4x4 with a powerful 126 kilowatt turbo diesel engine, 16-inch alloy wheels, massive towing capacity and a 6-stack CD player. The Navara is loaded with features. Great value at just over $50,000. Nissan Navara is tough at work, hard at play.
Send your entries to Almost Footy Legends, PO Box 800, Richmond, Victoria 31121. And don't forget now, you can upload your legends directly to our website at 9msn.com.au/footy show, Gary.
Very nicely done, Willie. Street Talk, the Richmond version, the AO version is coming shortly. And
dangerous.
Just waiting, Fossil, the Hall of Fame running a little bit behind, so we're going to cross out there.
Might have to get one more warning in, but we won't get.
Don't go anywhere near that. So we'll push on and head out to the Crown at any stage. Sydney Swans up against Essendon on the weekend, Sunday. 7th on the ladder, the Swans went down the Hawks by just 2 points. Ted Richards, Paul Bevan and Craig Bird come in. Daniel Hanbury, what a young star he is, playing very nice footy, kicked 3 goals on the weekend. They take on the Bombers. 8th on the ladder, in the 8 now. 5 wins, 5 losses. There they are, the Bombers. By 9 points. Gumbleton kicked 3, Davey 2, Jetta 2 and Ryder 2. Dustin Fletcher's been suspended. He's been in great form. Welsh back from suspension. Melksham Collier and Slattery as well. 7th versus 8th. I'm not sure both these sides will make it, Billy, at the end of the year, so this becomes really important.
Centre bet odds there, Willis.
Thank you, Jim. Yes, there they go. And Wonder Fessenden will have a home. Very interesting happening down there. Essendon will win this game, even though it's at the SCG.
Like it?
Yeah, look, I want to think Essendon at the SCG with their fast-moving attack and ball movement. I think Sydney can shut them down. Obviously, a different story, but I'll go with the Dons.
You're on side, Dazzler.
Obviously, Sydney for me, they were stiff last week, missed out, but I think up there they'll bounce back.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm waiting for you, Foss.
Yeah, the Sydney Swans up there, wouldn't they, Gary?
I'm with you, Fossil, on the
Because they should have beaten Hawthorn.
Essendon were very good, by the way, but up there, I think the Swannies.
Yeah, we are going to swing from that game straight into the next one, which involves the Adelaide Crows and the Fremantle Dockers, Amy Stadium, Saturday. Massive support in the house for these two teams, Gary. Earlier this year, Freo touched up the Crows to the tune of 56 points. Tyson Edwards back in for a farewell game, and Graham Johncock returned, so some veterans back in. Shut up, Bill. Out goes Nathan Bock with a groin. Chris Schmidt's been a minute. Freo, fresh off a nice old smacking of the Kangas. Second on the AFL ladder. They welcome back Barlow and Stephen Dodd. Hazelby's out with a back injury. And Clancy Pierce, Bill, has been omitted.
Oh, come on. Clancy is going all right. They're flying, Freo. I'm just waiting for them to fall over, but they're doing everything right. I think Adelaide will win this because the Dockers are no good at Amy. So Adelaide Crows for me. I bet you're with me on this one too, Sam. Hang on, wait. Yes, Simon?
Yeah, Bill, I'm going to go for the Dockers. Yeah, they're flying.
It's an easy option, Sam.
Easy option, Sammy, but...
I mean, you don't go... You have to go for the people necessarily who are higher on the ladder. You've got to think about it a bit.
Well, I just thought that near 100-odd win last week against North was pretty good form, so I think they'll carry it on.
Well, it wasn't quite that many.
60, sorry. 60, sorry.
Dazzler?
Yeah,
You're just going because they're ahead of the list, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm going for the Crows.
Yes!
You know, over there, obviously with the crowd behind them, I reckon they'll get up.
You appear to be passionate about this one.
No, I'm not. I think I agree with Bill and the Dazzler. I think the Crows there, surely at Amy.
Won 2 games for the season. The Dockers have only lost 2 games for the season.
What? Tell me something I don't know, Jim. I know that. Right. But I'm just saying the mechanics of Amy are just not suited to the Dockers and Gary.
Hey, the Dockers, Bill, they had won in Sydney forever, and they won this year, so they're travelling beautifully.
So that means they win at Amy, does it?
Yep.
On that basis?
Yep. Travelling beautifully.
Oh, Gary's... No.
Gary's got plenty of advice from the audience. They say the Dockers will win, Gary.
They got a Victorian coach. They'll win.
They've had a Victorian coach forever, sir. Every person that's ever coached them's come from Victoria.
All right, I'm going for the Dockers as well. We need to get to a break.
Now, what we need to do, Gary, is we're going to give people one more warning because I think it's coming.
No warning, a break, Samantha Stoser, Street Talk, and we're going to the Hall of Fame.
Don't you just love that singing?
Like the Tigers of old, we're strong and we're bold.
Not so crazy about that singing. Could we go back to the other singing? The Tigers. How can I put this without swearing? Shit, they won. Me. So in honour of that one win, and just in case there's not another, we're going to take a trip down memory lane, or should I say Swan Street, to relive the good times and the times we bumped into Richmond supporters. It's a computer man. This man sells computers. Computers. Look at it. And guess look at your ass. That is sensational. When was the last time you got grabbed by the scrotum watching the football set?
Oh, gee whiz.
The little
I would have
woman?
been about 14-year-old.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
Who grabbed you by the scrotum when you were 14 years old, sir?
I think I grabbed myself.
Hello. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you there. You all right?
Put your name on there for me.
Oh, so pardon me for moving away before you thought to do that. Hang on to that.
That's
I can't.
right.
Hang on to that. Hello. What? The wind get up then? I lost balance. Put a camera in front of Richmond people, and they'll do almost anything.
Shit. I'll just come here and talk to you, bud.
Hang on. Do it to Bruce. Graham Corns, the Adelaide coach, is elected to watch his wife give birth rather than coach the side. What do you reckon of that?
Well, he'd probably see a better spectacle.
I've had some really lovely times down at Swan Street. Unfortunately, none of them have been caught on tape.
Oh, no, they're English. Look, what does that say?
That says beer. Can I just get the lint out of your... I'm collecting this. Look,
Yeah, right.
I'm collecting Nova lint, sir. Put that in the jar, will you? We're going to make a Hessian palliasse out of that.
I've just had my nose straightened as well, actually.
Yeah, what? Yeah, have you?
Yeah.
Have you paid the account yet?
Yeah.
I'd hold off just for a while until the surgery heals over. So what was wrong with the old hooter?
Oh, what was wrong with it? Well...
Yeah, what was wrong with it?
Well, what was wrong with it? Well, I'll give you a tip, Sam. If you're ever in bed with your wife's sister, make sure the back door's locked.
All you Geelong bastards were the same, weren't they? I knew you when you had wrinkles.
Any heard anything about Richmond? Why they've thrown the towel in? Why they've run the white flag up, Bill?
No, I don't follow footy.
Just follow this man here.
That's my sister.
Yeah, a bit embarrassing. What did you like about their previous attempt? You know, that 40 years they had to get their eye in.
I don't know, I don't watch the footy.
What do you do?
I ride horses.
Do you? Gee, I wish I was a saddle. When you left to be a saddle, this woman just...
No, this girl's my daughter.
Are you a supporter of anything or anyone?
The Swans.
But at least we won last week.
Marvellous set of teeth when you laugh. Did you know that?
Thanks.
Very much.
Yeah, no, I reckon it was a good kick. The ball went out of bounds, but they're going to throw it in.
Who's that?
Oh, that's not on the barber, is it? No.
Who?
Not on the barber. No.
Tony Barber.
Yeah.
Some people love the camera. Bruce is... yeah, do a little dance for Bruce and Sandy. That'll keep them amused. You want to have a crack at doing commentary?
No, I don't.
That's a very fair...
I'm going to say, I'm not ready for it.
What's happened to Jonathan Brown's leg, Mark?
He's got a bruise.
How'd he get it?
He fell over playing soccer. Footy.
Yeah, guess look at that.
Look at what?
This
I'm
here.
testing time.
You're testing what, sir?
That's all right. We're going to get on camera anyway because we ain't going to be on a footy show. We're doing timetables. We're testing the communities.
Yeah, righto.
And how about you?
What's 11/12s?
Oh, right here, Sam. 22, you donkey.
I wish we could be very good to see you.
Darling, we're going to get in touch with you. You could be the very person that they'll be looking for.
Of course I will.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Give us my jacket back.
Please.
Please, sorry about that, Bill. Well, that's Richmond for you. Makes you want to sing, doesn't it? Luck be a lady, I'm only joking. We're the Tigers of old, we're strong and we're bold.
We're the Tigerland.
Bloody beautiful, sir.
Go Tigers!
Yes, a rich history with the suburb of Richmond Street Talk. Some of your finest stuff there, Fossil. Now, we need to quickly swing out to the Crown Complex because it's been a huge night out there. Of course, the Hall of Fame. Jonathan Brown's been out there. He's been busy as well. And he has with him, ladies and gentlemen, hold the applause for a sec, newly inducted Hall of Fame member Wayne Carey and newly inducted legend of the Hall of Fame, Kevin Murray. Put your hands together. Brownie, as we go out, we'll get to the duck in just a sec, but it must have been a special thrill for you to introduce the legend Kevin Murray.
It was a great thrill. Bulldogs been fantastic for the merger, I suppose, and the unity between the Brisbane and Fitzroy, and I think he really symbolised that connection after we won our first flag in 01 when he stood in the grandstand there, and so a lot of the Fitzroy people have followed him, and I'm great mates with the Bulldog, and the best and fairest is named after him, along with Roger Merritt, and so it was a great thrill, and obviously Duck was my football idol growing up as a young fella.
Kevin, congratulations. It's a great honour. 333 games, 24 times Victorian representative, 9-time Fitzroy best and fairest AFL team of the century. You've done it all. Tonight just caps off an extraordinary career. Brownie, pass on to Kevin that we think he's unbelievable, please. And what did it mean for him tonight?
What did it mean to become a legend, Bulldog?
Oh, it's an amazing feeling, Jonathan. You know, like any kid starting, like Wayne here and yourself, when you started, all you want to do is play a game. And to be able to be in this situation is just a fantastic feeling. And Fitzroy Football Club were marvellous to me. We know the Brisbane Lions are not the Fitzroy Footy Club. We know that they're not the Brisbane Bears, they're the Brisbane Lions. But with what success you have had and the amazing players that they've produced has just resurrected Fitzroy, and that means a lot to us Fitzroy people.
Just watching some amazing old vision there, Kevin and Brownie, of the Fitzroy days when Kevin was running around. And what about the fella standing next to you, Kev? When he got up and introduced you, that must have been a thrill.
Oh, well, I got another story too. Apparently he was just as good a street fighter back in your younger days as well, Bulldog, weren't you? So, obviously he won 9 best and fairest, but you grew up in a pretty tough area, Bulldog did, and it was a, you know, I'm not sure, he can't hear you, Bulldog, but it was a great thrill for Bobby Skilton to introduce you, wasn't it, and Alan Aylett, and Bill Stephen also. You want to talk about Bill Stephen, your old coach?
Yeah, it was an amazing feeling to hear Billy Stephen talk. He coached Fitzroy 16 years, 3 different times, and he gave me the opportunity in the seniors when I was 16, and he's still there when I won the Brownlow 15 years later. But to hear Bobby Skilton and Alan Aylett talk, they were 2 legends of Victorian state football, besides their clubs South Melbourne and North Melbourne. But they're the heart and soul and the salt of the earth, these particular men, and to hear them speak, it just choked me up. But football's been a wonderful thing to me. I was a bit of a knockabout kid with the arse out of my pants at Collingwood, and led a tough life, and probably was going in the wrong direction. But the Fitzroy Footy Club and football gave me the opportunity to rectify that, and I appreciate that very much. Yeah, I had a few punch-ups in my time on the ground. Won a few, lost plenty. I always remember having a big punch-up with the Italian stallion from North Melbourne, Albert Mantello. Lovely bloke, but a tough man. But that's the way it was in those days. You tried to even the score. Sometimes I wasn't good enough to do that.
Brownie, we've got limited time on the link, so we better jump across to the other bloke. And Duck, it goes without saying from the North Melbourne Footy Club how proud we are to see you inducted into the Hall of Fame. A little bit overdue for mine, but I know it'll be a proud moment for you.
Yeah, it is. Thanks, James. Look. You know, when people say it's overdue, it's been a couple of years. I said tonight that I ran into Peter Moore a few weeks ago. He only got inducted a couple of years ago, and he's a 2-time Brownlow medalist and an absolute champion. So to only wait 2 years, you know, I don't really look at it like that. I'm just thrilled and honoured to be a part of it now.
What about the night itself, Duck, getting up there? It's often an emotional time for a lot of the players on this night. Did you get a bit emotional when you got up and received the award?
Look, I could have easily got emotional, but I held it back, and unfortunately, or not unfortunately, they left me till last before the legend got introduced. I had to sit there sipping water all night, which I'm not used to. But look, it was like I said, it was a huge honour. Something that you don't go out to play football and expect. You play football to win premierships. To get something like this after your footy's finished is a great thrill.
Boys, we know it's a massive night, and you've got a lot of people there. We can't thank you enough for jumping on. We've got to get to the French Open, sadly, but to you, Kevin, and to Wayne and Brownie for giving us your time, we really do appreciate it. It's a magnificent night, and no one more deserving than both of you chaps. So well done, and thanks for joining us.
Bill, the MCG on Sunday, a big game for a couple of teams there.
An intriguing game. The Hawks, of course, who have won 3 in a row now. And just travelling beautifully, extended bench again. In comes Bateman, Ladson, Moss, Muston, Sean Makers and Liam Shields. Out goes Campbell Brown, 4 to 6 weeks. Buddy Franklin suspended for a week, and Ran Hooper out. 3 big outs there for the Hawks. They take on Port Adelaide. Davenport, Hartlett, Motlop, Danny Meyer and Dean Brogan are in. Out goes Hitchcock, who hurt his shoulder, and Justin Westhoff has been omitted. Big game, but the Hawks are just travelling okay at the minute, and they should win. Simon?
Yeah, Billy, I'm with you, mate. I think the Hawks will get over the line. Port had a couple of losses last 2 weeks, and yeah, I think the Hawks are going pretty well.
Dazzling?
Yeah, Hawks for me.
Yes, and just said we had to put this on because we said we'd wear that if Luke Hodges...
You bought it at auction?
Well, no, I was going to, but it's gone.
Oh.
Apparently, I don't know what it went for. Do we know what it went for? But this has gone at auction, so sorry I can't buy it, but I would love to have bought it.
Gunner
Very lucky to win anyhow, and they might be lucky to win again against Port Adelaide.
Yeah, I think they'll be pretty safe against Port Adelaide. We push for time, a break, and we'll wrap up the footy show after this. Welcome back to the Footy Show, heading off to Roland Garros very, very shortly. Just recapping those 6 inductees into the Hall of Fame: Wayne Carey, Tony Shaw, Brian Dixon, Stan Heel, who's a Simpson medalist from over there in Perth, Ross Smith, Gavin Wanganeen, and of course Kevin Murray, who we just spoke to, elevated to legend status, which is a magnificent little panel. Was superb. Darren Jolly, good luck on the weekend. Simon Black, first time. Well, thank you, mate. Samantha Stocer, Bill,
yes.
Any advice? You've got a tennis court. You play a bit of tennis. What's your advice?
She's got to attack early. Go for a shot.
Go for a what?
A shot.
It's on clay, on the clay courts.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's a French Open. Of course it's on the clay. Go for a shot. That's all right. Get a first serve in.
Yeah, no, I'd give her exactly the opposite advice. Most points are won by mistake, so just hang in there until the other woman makes a mistake. What's her name? Yankovic.
Yelena Yankovic. I think she'll win. And
she go out with Adam Scott?
No, that's the other one.
And that, not anymore.
Well, that's bitten the dust.
Jim, next Friday night, North versus Carlton, celebrating 25 years of Friday night footy. I believe a big night. Wayne Carey and maybe some special brothers coming to that.
It's going to be a huge night. A massive crowd at Etihad. There's going to be a car given away too, I think, Gary. It's going to be a big night.
Fireworks.
Fireworks, the whole thing.
Crackers?
25 years of Friday night footy. Going to
Bill,
be massive.
We're
going to let you go, but I tell you what, if you're a fan of Australian sport, don't leave us. Samantha Stocer wins through tonight. She's into the final at Roland Garros, so stay with us. We'll see you next Thursday night, 9:30.